stop. You better not stop. Hit those switchbacks, reach the mountain top. Santa Claus is running the trails. He's tuned to Dirt Church Radio with the podcasts in his ears. They keep him motivated through all the trailhead cheers. He's checking the course and mapping the climbs. Got gels in his pack and he's racing the times. Santa Claus is running the trails.
Episode 308 of Dirt Church Radio, a Christmas edition. I'm Matt Raymond.
I'm Ellie Pottinger.
And I'm Andrew McDowell.
Well, welcome to the Booze and Wagon for which is AKA Andrew McDowell's incredibly flash studio.
What are you saying about my studio?
It's flash.
It's just a booze place.
You wrote it.
Okay.
I just read what's on. I think it's been established over the last 6 years that I just will read what is written down. So welcome. It's our 6th or 5th Christmas edition, and what a year it's been. How's everyone doing?
Good. Yeah, good. I mean, I did a bit of Christmas shopping today. Feel like I'm getting on top of things. Yeah. How about you guys?
Was it a today quiz? How's today going?
No, just
or how's
the Christmas.
year going?
We talked last year. Well, the year's been. It's been a long year, but we talked last time about how I sort of grinched. It was like, doesn't feel very Christmassy. I'm just checking in and seeing, is everyone feeling the Christmas cheer? We're a couple of days out. We're on the homeward stretch. How are you feeling, Ellie?
Good. I've got my Christmas tree up over there. I don't know. I'm not able to. Can you guys see that?
That looks
yet?
amazing. Yep.
It's pretty cool, eh? I'm a fan of the lights. They're flickering nicely.
I'll just describe it to everyone. It's a green tree with lights on it and ornaments.
The Germans refer to it as a Tannenbaum.
Oh, is that what that word means?
Yeah, Christmas tree.
It was like a Snoopy
Can I
thing.
just say I am quite anal about where my ornaments go? You know how some people will just be like,
It's like a
the
raccoon
kids
on
can put
meth.
them up.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. No. They've got to be adequately spaced out.
I get everything up from downstairs, throw it on the floor and say, children, do it. And they do everything and they love it. And it's like, I do nothing. And I'm so happy about that.
I live with an occupational therapist. The tree is very precise.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The dishwasher is stacked well. So I'm the raccoon on meth who would raccoon the Christmas tree. It would just get chucked onto it. But Rebecca's like Ellie, she will place stuff really well.
I'm the raccoon on meth for the dishwasher.
Right.
Kerry will tell you about his trauma from that.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. There's two types of people in this world.
Yeah.
In answer to your question, today's been great. I got to watch cricket, my daughter bowling and taking wickets.
Yoo-hoo.
So that was pretty fun. And it's been a beautiful day weather-wise. So it was a nice day to be watching cricket.
That's good.
Yeah.
And
Is that Christmassy?
yeah, it's Christmassy. It's a very
Summery.
Southern
A
Hemisphere
Kiwi
Christmas, isn't
Christmas.
it?
Yeah, Southern Hemisphere, yeah.
Yeah, and there's heaps of pahudakawas around the field too. So there you go.
Aww. Kiwi Christmas tree.
Idyllic. And we were drinking 1% beers in the afternoon.
Wow.
Bloody marvellous.
How many did you have? Like 20?
I don't even think it'd matter. Anyway.
Look, we're going to repeat a tradition that we started last year, so it's not much of a tradition, and it is a twist on a regular slot, and that twist is Greatest Run Ever, which is the part of the show usually where we ask you to write in and tell us your greatest run ever, and it doesn't have to be a race or mount. Some it might be something that sung to you for some reason. Run around the block. Send them in to us at dirtchurchradio@gmail.com, and we are getting very low. The Christmas cupboards are getting a bit empty.
After our little big shout out last week, did anyone?
Nah,
send them in?
nothing. No.
Whoa.
Look, if you're finding yourself, because this will come out on Christmas Day, if you're sitting there post lunch, if you've been for a run, write it down, send it to us. Just send us anything because we're dying. But something we started last year where I ask everyone and we ask each other our greatest runs ever. Anyone want to start?
Greatest runs ever.
Greatest runs
for
ever
the year.
of the year, yeah.
Personal ones or what? Like just watching from afar.
Let's go personal ones.
Personal ones.
I'll leave while you start, Andrew.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster year for me.
Have you got your buckle?
I don't. Sorry, But I could say yes, I do.
Which one?
Because people are on a podcast and they
His
don't
Western
know.
States
Got it.
one.
I'll bring it down for you,
Come
mate.
on. There's Blue Lake too, isn't there?
Yes, the buckle hip flask is quite the thing. I'm sorry, I'll show and tell next week.
Mr. T over here.
So basically, for me, it was like Tarawera went horribly badly. Spent like 5 hours off the trail, but eventually did actually finish.
What happened?
Yeah, what were you doing off the trail?
Because it's unlike you to spend 5 hours off the trail.
Yeah, especially early on. Like I think at like 45 Ks I was walking. I overheated. I probably overdid it, but I had some issue. Basically, my willy hurt a hell of a lot, and I can't quite explain it. I was peeing like really dark later on, but not initially. So, of course, I didn't go to a doctor because I'm a male, and everything's fine since it's a one-off. So, who knows? I took a lot. I did get checked out on the course by people that know what they're doing.
Sorry, I'm just imagining what that looks like.
That sentence is doing a lot of work.
We'll just leave it
in
there.
people's minds.
It doesn't need any clarification.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
My genitals hurt intensely. I have questions. So my questions are, was it the base? Was it the top? Was it inside? Was it around? Was it just felt
Urethra?
like the whole thing was on fire? Was it a crushing pain? A burning pain?
Oh gosh, sorry. I didn't think anyone wanted to go into detail.
You brought it up, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I did not.
You opened the
You're
door.
talking to professionals here.
It was a burning pain. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That went away the next day.
Right.
But yes, in the middle of the night, the lady at Okataina looked at me and she said, your peas are okay colour. Do you want to keep going? And I was all fully ready to pull out.
Right.
And I was like, oh, well, I'm out of excuses. Sorry, Ellie's double entendreing me on that one.
You're very amateur.
Grow up. And I was like, okay, fine. I ran out of excuses, so I just kept going.
Wow.
And just finished the bloody thing just so I could be done. And then Northburn, I went and DNF'd that because my quads had utterly destroyed from, running down a hill too fast. So it was a very average start to the year. Anyway, it all came right beautifully in time for Western States. It did mean that I went into it with a hell of a lot of trepidation because there's nothing like having two crappy races going into a good one. But it went amazingly well. I ran it quite nervous, so I probably didn't go as fast as I could have, but that doesn't really matter because I got that big shiny buckle that I keep forgetting to show you. And Blue Lake was really good. It was the day after my dad's funeral, so it was quite a thoughtful day. A lot of thinking, yes. A lot of
Were
perspective.
there any ugly tears, Andrew?
Not too much, no. No, it was just nice to get it done. I've not had a lot of success at Blue Lake, so I was quite determined to actually finally run 160 Ks there. And it was bloody hard. Like, man.
Yeah, it's
your
a tough trail, hey?
Yeah.
It's a really tough trail. It really beats your legs up. I was pretty happy to see the end of that one.
Eugene and I were actually, because we went to the service.
And thank you for that.
And we were sort of looking at each other, and did actually have the serious conversation. Do we need to kind of beat him up and take his keys off him because he's going to drive down to Blue Lake?
Yeah.
Which also would have been, and not to, make light of it, but like that would have been a scene at your father's funeral. We assault you and take your car keys off you. And we actually said to Emma, like, do you want us to say something? She's like, nah, just let him go. Like, it's the best thing for him, and
Yeah. I remember walking through Pack and Save at Rotorua that evening.
Wow.
Fully dressed in my suit still. My funeral suit, just trying to buy supplies for the next day, thinking life is weird. Like, this is an odd day. So life goes on as well.
Odd day in an odd place.
Finishing, I had the joy of pacing the 3-hour marathon at Auckland, which was fantastic and hard, but very satisfying. And Coast to Cozy, of course, which we've just been talking endlessly on about, but what an amazing race. Great to go into top 10, a reverse of 8 years ago where I went from 9th to 19th in the race. This year I went from 19th to 9th, which was pretty cool to see. I didn't realise that until afterwards.
Where did Stephen Redford come?
Yeah, who cares? Behind me.
Behind.
Maybe 12th? I don't know. Doesn't matter. So, yeah, a real sort of up and down year, full of challenges, but obviously Western States, always my dream race, number one race, and stoked to come away with a silver buckle and not embarrass myself more than anything. So, yeah.
Did you, Andrew, like with it being your dream race, did you have that kind of post-race, like, I've done it now, like it's, that's my pinnacle?
A little bit. I did prepare myself for that.
Yeah.
I've had post-race blues so many times now, and I did say before the race that you're going to get it really bad on this one. This one's going to be big. And so when I did inevitably feel that a few days later, I made sure I just turned it into the satisfaction of having done it and the honour of being able to stand on that start line, and how fortunate I am to be able to go to something like this. So no, not in the traditional sense that I've certainly had in the past. In this case, it was more gratification.
Gratitude.
Gratitude, thank you. It was gratitude. That's why Matt's here for the words, the big words.
What about you, Ali? How's your running
My
year?
running year, it's ended pretty poorly, but the start of it was pretty cool. Like I had a really nice time down in Central Otago running around with Terry Davis, who's always a great human to be around. And I just love it down there, eh? I don't know. Something special about it. And we obviously got to finish our runs at amazing vineyards and just hang out, which was cool. And I'm just trying to think about my year. Like, what have I done? I camp in the Blue Mountains, I just love being there. Like this, we kind of talk about the Australian bush. I think visually doesn't have as much going on as New Zealand bush, but then the other senses get quite overwhelmed, like the sounds and the that sort of the smells, like that side of it. I think you get this really good kind of hit. And then what else? I remember midwinter, I think it was actually the shortest day, and just the most amazing run at Blue Lake Tikitapu. Like it was just so calm and sunny and beautiful, and I ran into the water after my run, even though it was cold. So even just your local on a great day, you can be so happy about. And then I'm trying to think. Just then, kind of just like crappy knee injuries, going from like great to not great. Waiting on a surgeon's appointment. So I'm looking forward to hopefully in 2025 getting back to running. So we'll see. Yeah.
Have you had the appointment? Like, have you talked to the surgeon now?
Nah, it's the 16th of January. So not too far away now. I'm looking forward to that. Just to hopefully they'll just say, yep, we can fix it and get you back out running.
Let's get the laser out, shave it off, sweet as.
Well, yeah. We'll see what they want to do.
When you say camping, do you mean like in a tent in the forest of Australia, in the bush?
No. We host training camps there. So I've hosted lots of camps in the Blue Mountains. So
I'd be too scared to be in a tent in the Australian
to camp
bush.
in the bush. Nah, it's cool. It's so fun. Kerry and I did this epic trip to Northern Territory in 2019, and we did with Tom Lannon-Smith and Alina McMaster, the founders of Ultra Trail Australia. We did this really wicked backcountry kind of hiking and camping trip around Kakadu, and it was amazing. That's one of the places that I'd just love to go back to and do more, because it's stunning and just, I don't know. There's something about the Australian sky that, during the day or night, it feels like it's a bigger sky than ours.
I think of that with the South Island too, whenever I go down there. South Island. Yeah,
true. Yeah.
All I think about when you say Northern Territory is just crocodiles everywhere, so I'm just imagining.
Well, we were definitely concerned about crocodiles. Yeah.
Far out.
But that's part of the adventure.
And you're right to be.
Yeah.
No mountain lions though, Eugene.
No mountain lions.
No
that we
mountain
know
lions.
Cane toads.
Mountain chickens. Yeah.
What about you, Matt?
Matt, yours.
I've had a big year of running. Not as. I was thinking about it. So having gone from not really racing to running a lot of events, and when I made the decision late last year to enter Tarawera, I thought I'm going to start, January 1st and just work up to it. And I'm going to do it by learning. One of the things that I need to get better at is being at races. I've been in a lot of races, but being in races and doing that. So started the year off I jumped in very impulsively into Riverhead Relapse, which was cool. Never done a backyard before and didn't want to wreck wreck myself. So I think it was, what did I do? Like 11 laps? And then
I always like to word it 11 hours of running.
11 hours of running.
You know,
I did 11 hours of running.
It's a long time. You know?
And that was very, very fun. And it was very informative in the fact that with the backyard and the popularity of this event, I mean, there's 14 backyards in Aotearoa next year, 14. And people go incredible distances. It is something that kind of, you can see the appeal of them when you're doing them, in that it is the kind of, on one level, it's the people's race because you can just jump in and do it. Do you know? And people do go a lot further than they perhaps think that they might, or there's all that sort of stuff. And it's a very interesting environment because you are the diminishing return. The environment stays quite static, you know. So that was really interesting. And then I think 2 weeks later, I went down and did, or 3 weeks later, 2 or 3 weeks later, I was down in Otago or Christchurch with Eugene for a Further Faster live shot over Easter, and did the skedaddle, which was incredible. So that was like a 42K mountain run, essentially. It was incredible. It was like being beaten to death in a Graham Sydney painting. It was one of the hardest things that I'd ever done. And again, adventure, stayed out in a station in the middle of nowhere and slept in a tent and got up in the morning, and, you know, it was like -4, and then got up in the morning and did this thing, and it was super, super hard and super fun.
I love how you said Otago and then Christchurch, like it's pretty much the same thing.
It's not, and I said Otago like it's
you just offended two
okay,
provinces in
we
one.
still love you.
Made it over. That was not intentional. I do apologise, Otago, and I know that you're different. And
Only apologising to Otago.
It's been a long day. Yeah. No, Christchurch as well. Otago is amazing. Sorry, it's been a very long day, but got to. Yeah, that was really fun. That was hard. That was fun. And then there was Wutuke, which was hard and fun, and then not very fun. And so things took a turn after that because I hit my head. And it sounds like it sounds like something I talk about a lot, but it's something I talk about a lot because it took months and months to get better from. And that was rough. It was really, really rough.
How are you now, mate?
I've got holes in my short-term memory that you could drive a bus through. I still struggle with recalling words sometimes. If I'm in a situation where I have to talk to more than like 3 people, it gets a bit kind of sketchy. But I don't have the persistent nausea and the visual disturbances that I had. So that was real hard. Like, you know, starting a new job. It was the weekend. I got seconded into this kind of dream job, and I got this comment, and then I stopped work on the Friday, went down to I stopped work on the Thursday, went down to Wellington, hit my head on the Saturday, came back to work on the Monday, and was just buggered for the next So there was
I know it'll fix it, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Running the 2025 Tarawera Ultramarathon.
Yeah, I've heard that's a really good cure-all.
You'll be like fine after that.
Yeah. It's interesting though. I got cleared to run very, very quickly, and it was one of the only things that actually made me feel less sick. So I'd come home from work, I'd be doing these half days, and I'd just feel sick and exhausted, and I'd go home and just feel sick and exhausted and quite distressed at being sick and exhausted, and then I'd go out for a run and feel sick and exhausted but feel better afterwards, and it was actually really useful.
You're saying running is good therapy for the mind?
Running is good for the brain. Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah. It's good physiologically and psychologically. So that was good. And then what did I do? We went and did the Fieries climb, which was one of the coolest things, I think. And if we want to talk about sort of greatest runs in September, Ali, Rebecca, and I went to the Blue Mountains to take part in the Fieries climb for MND, which was incredible. We did a podcast there. We did a live podcast. We got up on top of the SkyTrain thing, Gavin. So
Beyond the Skyway.
Yeah, on the Skyway.
Gavin surprised us.
Have you been on the Skyway? Have you seen Scenic World? So
no, I've just the start and finish of the thing of the race. That's
so
all.
it's a tram.
A large metal box that goes over a tram line, kind of hanging a couple of 100 metres above the ground, like between 2 cliffs.
Like it's a 6-second fall, apparently.
Oh.
Okay.
How do they know?
I don't know.
That's creepy. Yes.
Yeah, but that's what they described.
Oh,
Apparently
hell.
it's 6 seconds from the top of the thing. And so Gavin was like, I've got you guys a surprise. You've got to come do this. And I was thinking, shit, is he going to make us bungee? I think he's going to make us bungee jump. And I was like, I can't bungee jump because of my head. And then he's like, where would he make us bungee jump from? And we got to Scenic World and they're like, have you signed your waivers? And we're like, what? Signed your what? And they strapped us up to basically like that. They tie you into this thing.
A harness.
It's a harness. It's like a 3-point harness. And essentially, and they've really thought it, they're very safety conscious. And they essentially, and to use their words, they suicide proof it. So they clip you into the harness so you cannot physically remove the harness. And then you are attached by several points of carabiner to various points of the thing. And they drive you out into the middle of this thing and then they get you up on the roof.
And then drop it.
No.
No.
I thought you were going to say
dropping,
that.
thank God.
Yeah. No, if they drop it, you die.
Oh, okay.
That's the
Sorry.
thing. So it's this.
So you're saying it's like a 6-second drop?
No. Well, that's what they said. But you're sort of there looking out over the
Oh,
edge.
so you're saying if you jumped off, it would be 6 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you jumped off,
but
it
they
would be
don't.
6
It's not like
seconds to the
okay,
bottom.
sorry,
No,
I've got it now.
they don't drop you. I would
like
not
some-
have consented to that.
No. No.
I see now.
And it was incredible. It was incredible. I think I lasted about 5 minutes up there before the motion of the swaying got the better of me, and I had to go inside. But Ali was out there for ages, and it was really cool.
Oh, I see. You can climb in.
Yeah, you climb out, and
Yeah.
but they're with you all the time, and yeah, it's super good. Yeah, that was really really cool. And then doing the Furber stairs at night was super good too with the spiders, and that was kind of that was close to actually being a greatest run ever because I was running down the hill, and at that point I knew that Dirt Church Radio was going to go through some big changes, and I was sort of wrestling with, because Eugene and I had the talk that he was going to step away, and I was like, well, we're done, I'm not going to do it anymore. And then getting to Australia, I was like sort of holding this and not saying anything to anyone, and then everyone's like, yeah, and that was a real thing, like running down the hill in the dark going, actually, I want to keep doing this. Like, I want to keep doing this, and I want to keep kind of hanging out with good people. And that was a really good time.
Can I add to that, Matt? Like, so I didn't have it as part of my greatest runs, but I feel like that was actually like quite a profound experience for the year, going and learning more about MND and seeing people, like working together to fundraise towards it. It really got me deep down in the feels, quite thought-provoking and a really special weekend.
Yeah, it was. It really was. It really was. And being involved in this for like 6 years, we championed some causes, right? Like like Kia Mau Kia Ora with Inia Raumati. We've talked to, obviously, mental health, something that's really dear to our hearts, and but the MND stuff, that really did. Yeah, that was a real profound moment. Yeah, and then wrapped it up with, what did they do? The Rage Against Riverhead, did the 8 hours there. That was really super cool. And then 4 days later did the Ultra Kosciuszko 30K, which was, that was a nice confidence. That was a confidence boosting thing for me, I think, backing up and doing it and feeling good. And yeah, so here we are, just kind of panicking about February now.
Don't panic, mate.
I'm allowed to panic a little bit.
Hey, I found out I'm going to be down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I will be pacing
Yes.
my neighbour, Hush, on his third attempt
Okay.
to finish the 100-miler,
There we go.
which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
A week before he turns 50.
There we go.
So he's got to get it done.
He's got to get it done.
He's got to get it done. No pressure.
No pressure, Harsh.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of pressure. I'm going to pressure the shit out of him.
He'll have had a lot of learnings, though, right? And a lot of extra motivation. So hopefully
He's got this. He's got this.
Yeah.
He's one of, and if he's listening, I've said this to his face, he's one of the most impressive human beings I've ever met.
I try not to blow that much smoke up his ass, mate, but sure.
He absolutely is.
You might need to pull that out of the bag, Andrew, when you're pacing. Just
You're the most impressive person I know. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
Positivity.
See what works.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Hadn't
Positivity,
considered
you can
that.
try that. It doesn't have to all be drill sergeant.
Yeah, what? You mean I'm not just yelling at him the whole time? Okay, all right.
Go Goggins on
I'll
him.
put that one in the
go
pocket.
Goggins on him. Well, what do we think about? I mean, that's our kind of rundown of there. What do we think about internationally? Should we go through some categories? I mean, I'm keen to hear what people think. I mean, and when I was putting these together, I was like, I basically haven't paid much attention to what's been going on through the year. But what about performance of the year by an international athlete?
Well, I'm very disappointed to hear that, Matt. You should pay more attention to all the amazing things that people are doing around the world.
I
I'm telling you off.
Thank you, Andrew. I'll do better next year.
I personally think, well, I mean, there's so many. It was a year of surprises and a year of people continuing to do the amazing things they've been doing. Ludovic Pomeray,
Yep.
hard rock, 48 years old, 21 hours, 33 minutes, a new record by 3 minutes, I think, over Killian's old record. I mean, that as someone who's 46, I look at it and I think that is damn inspiring stuff. You know?
As someone who's 47, I look at that and go, yeah, that is damn inspiring.
It is truly amazing.
This is what you've got ahead of you.
I love
Andrew.
his line where I dreamed all day and the nightmare never came. I mean, that I think a lot of people can relate to that. Sometimes when you're feeling really good in a really long race, you're sort of thinking, I'm feeling really good, but I know it's going to come crashing down soon. And you've always got that little voice. And he clearly had it as well. And he was waiting for it to all go horribly wrong, and it never did. And he absolutely crushed it. And of course, Courtney just continued where she left off.
She's had quite a good year, Andrew.
Quite a good year. She also broke the course record, 26:11. It was her own course record anyway. So that was pretty amazing.
So was David Roche, though, Leadville. 2005 was that course record that he took down. That's almost 20 years and taking 16 minutes off it.
Yeah, no, I love that he did too, because he got absolutely pilloried earlier in the year with one of the, and I get it, right? Yep, sure, cool.
Yeah.
If you've your whole race strategy on the awesome sauce, and it was.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
We don't talk about Fight Club, but he got pilloried, man. If he's not going to drown, we'll burn him, and right, burn the witch, both of them, and then he comes back, and it's a real middle finger. And I love it. I hopefully he's better than that as a human being. He's better than me. But I think, yeah, good on him.
Dare I suggest listening to another podcast, but Rich Roll's podcast on David Roach is absolutely outstanding, and will give you a really good insight into the guy. It sounds like he's talking at 1.5 speed.
Right.
He talks so fast. It is insane. But he backed up Leadville with Javelina, didn't he? He smashed that as well, right?
Destroyed it.
Yeah. So absolutely, Ellie. He is let's chuck him at Western States, see what he can do.
Ooh, that would be juicy.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been fast, but he hasn't done the 100 miles, so that it is insane to think he's only just getting started. Katie Scheid,
Yeah.
once again. I mean, she doubled, didn't she?
Yep, she did.
She smashed
Yeah.
Western States and smashed
Course record.
no, not
No?
at Western States. Second fastest. Is that right?
UTMB, though, wasn't it?
UTMB, she did. She went under 21 minutes under.
Yes, UTMB was course record.
Yeah. Which is huge.
Yeah, she is a weapon as well. Are we going to get a Courtney and Katie showdown next year?
I hope we go Courtney, Katie, Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good problem.
that's a good problem.
That's a really good problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, for me, I'm going to go Courtney. I just think all year she just had an amazing... we looked before, the 5 races she entered are the 5 races she won. The Transgran sorry, my brain.
I'll bring it up for you, mate. No, that's her mum. Wait,
her
hang
mum.
on.
Yeah, we looked at her mum's season as well.
Yeah.
Tracy
Mum's had a great
DeWalter
season.
is a haunch.
Which one are you after there, mate? The Transgran Canaria. Yes.
Transgran Canaria. What was her overall? The worst she did was 13th.
Yeah, disgraceful.
On a course like that, just incredible.
Yeah.
First at Ultra Mount Fuji, and 3rd overall. That was super impressive.
She was chasing second too.
She would have.
easy.
If that race had kept going, she would have won.
Yeah.
First at Hard Rock, obviously.
Yeah, course record, yeah.
And then the other ones that I can't read.
Swiss Peak 70, 2nd overall, and the Nice Côte d'Azur by UTMB. 100 mile, second overall. Ridiculous. Yeah, and that was a quiet year compared to last year.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to think that she's building up to go back to UTMB and just crush. It's gonna be awesome.
UTMB Vincent Bouillard just came out of nowhere and absolutely smashed it as well. That was pretty cool to see. He works for like Salomon or something. Is that right?
He works for Hoka.
Does, doesn't he?
Hoka. He works for Hoka.
Oh, Hoka, yeah.
So, but apart from that, he's definitely sort of come out of nowhere.
He would have had 2 carbon plates in each foot.
Jasmine Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, like, that moment, so she finished Barclay when I was hosting one of the camps in the Blue Mountains, and I heard these screams of delight and like, she's done it. And like, just like this group of people celebrating. And it was the group that was with me. They were just ahead of me. And I was like, and they were celebrating that Jasmine had finished Barclay, being the first woman to complete Barclay. And I just thought, this is incredible that, we're on the other side of the world and her performance means that much to people that they are taking the time during a beautiful run in the Blue Mountains to check her results and then scream with joy.
I wonder if it's going to be a Roger Bannister moment, a 4-minute mile moment.
Yeah,
and I'm hopeful that it
barrier.
will. It's been such a thing for such a long time. I have my own thoughts on that race. I have my own thoughts on that scene, and
Oh, go on. What are your thoughts on that race and that scene,
my thoughts
Matt?
on that race and that scene is that they're a different cultural context to the one that I have, I think, and both can exist. But I'm super glad, and that's not to disrespect the space. That's not to disrespect anything about it. Maybe it's a thing that maybe it's a thing that 93% of the people that I've worked with for the last 25 years have been women. And I just think like there'll be people lining up around the block now, I think, to try and crush that. And I'm here for it.
I'll play devil's advocate and say, let's not underestimate just how good Jasmine Paris is.
No. I'm not. I'm not underestimating just how good Jasmine Paris is. But what I'm suggesting is with it almost there's a permission structure, and once someone's done it, you go, maybe I can do that too.
It is doable.
It is doable.
It's
I'm not
gone
suggesting
from being
impossible.
a question mark, impossible, to being done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe. I'm a little less sure. The reason is, like, Roger Bannister ran the first sub 4-minute mile, right? But before then, the record was about 4:03, right? In the case of Jasmine Paris, she's run a sub 4-minute mile when the previous record was about a 6:30.
Yeah.
So it's an enormous chasm that she's just leaped across.
Yes.
Leaped across. So maybe, but yeah, it's going to take something pretty special. I'm here for it. Can't wait to see it, but I think what she did is extraordinary.
And I'm not suggesting, and when I say people lined up around the block, I'm not suggesting it'd be like, and then I won Barclay, and then I did Barclay, and then I did Barclay. But like, there is the talent there, and there has to be, right? And even,
I mean, we're seeing it, talking about these course records going by quite large margins. We're getting faster. The sport's getting faster. So, and I know that Barclay's got its own unique considerations, but there are other athletes that are capable of the speed. It's probably
everything else that goes along with it, with the navigation.
Everything else.
I wonder too, like thinking about Vincent Bouillard, it's so different now, isn't it, that we're in this space and we've seen it with the and I think about crewing, right? I think about what the elite crews look like now. It's like F1. They roll up and it's like boom, 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 and they're gone. Even you think about like Francois Dehaene in Tour de Jean. Did you see the pictures of his crews?
Yep.
Which is incredible when you think about that race.
Was it a hot water bag or a cold water bag in his stomach or something?
Something, but they were that he was doing like a 330k run in the Italian mountains, and his things were like bang, 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 bang. Vincent coming out, it seems like he came out of nowhere and did it, right? And yes, very, very capable runner, obviously, but it's such an odd thing. It seems like such an odd thing now because the big teams and the big, you know what I mean? It's nice to see people, I guess, coming out and doing it, and it sort of proves that there are people out there who can.
Yeah, do you think Vincent should have been let off for having he didn't have enough water capacity and just used a plastic bag to say, I've got enough water capacity because I'm holding a plastic bag?
No.
It was a bit of a grey one, wasn't it? Moving
But
right
I think
along.
too, going on to your crew chat, Matt, like, what was it? Was it 3 minutes that we said for the course record at Hard Rock? Was it? That's the difference between a good crew and not.
It's nothing, eh?
So,
yeah, it's nothing.
yeah, it's nothing. I mean, it's a good Portaloo stop as well sometimes.
And you think, because Killian had it, I mean, I remember when he first broke the record, he was just hanging out at aid stations for like 10 minutes because he wanted someone to talk to because he'd been lonely for 5 hours. I mean, he was happy
He
to...
ran back the other way.
He didn't even care. He was, and he still broke the record. I mean, he's speaking of Killian, he did a pretty amazing little personal FKT, didn't he, over their summer or late summer? 82 of the Alps, 4,000 metre peaks in 19 days. I love the stat that says that he beat the old record, which was 62 days. So just 43 days quicker.
And he was biking between them, eh? He was.
That's right. Yeah.
Incredible. Have you seen the film?
Yes.
Oh, it's really good. It's annoyingly good. Like, I sort of went into it a little bit jaundiced, like, okay, Killian.
Yeah, off you
cool
go.
story.
Yeah.
And I was like,
get a real job.
he's really cool. And his mum's there, and like, he just seems, I know it sounds like I'm fanboying, he just seems so nice. You know, he just went and did it. And showed how hard it wasn't a picnic.
Yeah, totally. And let's talk about backyards. We had a really cool World Satellite backyard this year. Our Kiwi team did extremely well.
They did.
What did we end up? 6th? I want to say we ended up 6th. I feel like we did. But those Belgians, once again, making us all look like fools. Shaking hands, making love heart signs at 110 hours, laps, 738 kilometres.
So then does it mean, or is it different from the backyard? Because you're a man who, you just brought up the plastic bag thing, which I didn't know about, and I am with you on that one. They all stopped. They all agreed to stop. Surely then that kind of, does that void everything, or is it satellites you're allowed to do that?
It's different because it's a team one. So
Right.
If they're ahead as a team, then why not stop? What's the point? I get it.
I think they should have been made to keep going.
Yeah, but
But then 9 of them could have just dropped out.
I'm totally against the hand holding namaste finish, right? Like I am against that. Like, yes, win the damn race, right? By yourself. That I'm very much that person. But in this particular case, because it was a team event and they're all working together and they'd already won overall by miles. What's the point?
Okay.
High five each other. You're all winners. Everyone's happy. That's okay. But don't be doing that in the actual individual world champs every other year. There you go. So it's okay.
Hey gang, it's Matt here. I just wanted to let you know about That's It, which is a range of natural skincare products from Aotearoa, 100% natural, antibacterial and antifungal. I'm using the anti-chafe gel because things are getting hot over summer and I want to keep moving in tip-top shape. This stuff is delicious. It smells great, goes on easy, washes off really well, doesn't wreck your clothes. I'm a massive fan. I'll tell you who also is a massive fan, Iniromati. He is using it to keep him moving safely and without undue discomfort in his 8-stage races over 8 continents in 1 year. Look, head to that'sit.nz for more information. Check out their range of products. They've got heaps and heaps of stuff, but their anti-chafe gel, it really is that good. That'sit.nz. Give them a crack.
Ditch Radio.
Ali, your thoughts? Where do you come in the whole make them keep running, or like they're allowed to hold hands?
I'm all about holding hands, man.
No!
No, I think in that circumstance it makes sense. Like they've all done it. They've got the world record. It is, like Andrew said, it's a team's race. So I think it was, I don't know, I thought it was a cute way to kind of bow out, really. Although, like, some of it was a little bit alpha. Like, wasn't there some push-ups, like, kind of like, we can keep going? Yeah, I think there was. Like, we've
I
got
only saw
enough
that-
to keep going.
I didn't like the love heart hands. I thought that was
Oh, see, I like the love
that was
heart
a bit
thing.
Taylor Swift for my liking.
Do we then impose? And I guess this is the thing, isn't it? Because people are, like, do we then impose a set of criteria for what a satellite backyard looks like in terms of minimum vert, maximum vert, trail composition?
Oh man, that's a whole
I
discussion.
feel like you should.
Hard out.
Yeah. I think you should.
I mean, not to take away from 110 hours, right? But I just think there should be some, like, you know, and this is the thing that people talk about. Again, not to disrespect the effort, and it's mighty and it's incredible, but there should be some degree of, and I'm sure there is a counterpoint. I can't remember what the counterpoint is. Like, I think it's the distance takes care of itself at the end.
But does Belgium? This is my ignorance here. Does Belgium even have like decent hills and vert? Like Netherlands doesn't exactly have a lot of vert either, does it?
No, you should
Pretty
surely
flat
you
over
could
there.
get 100
No,
meters
it's pretty
somewhere.
flat.
You
Yeah.
get 100 cumulative meters on 6.7k somewhere in that country.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's tricky. Once you start making a rule, now you've really got to make lots of rules. You can have people
Absolutely.
checking those rules.
100%, and I'm here for it.
Oh, I'm tired thinking about it. I think everyone just pick their course, and you're free to pick whatever course you like in your country. And if it happens to be harder, then that's your problem.
Pick a struggle.
Yeah. Some people, personally, I prefer the hills to a flat race.
Right.
So it's quite individual basis. I would much rather have, like when we had one of the backyards, the one that Laz came to. I was loving the technical trail, and I was coming in a good time and feeling good every time. As soon as we went to the night loop, that was an out and back on the flat gravel road.
That was awful, though.
I was
'cause it
bored out of my
wasn't
mind,
too flat,
and I
was
hated.
it?
I lasted 4
Yeah.
laps, and I was like, "Nah, this is
Yeah.
no good." So I'd prefer a more interesting hilly course, and so it maybe depends on the person. There you go. So you never. I don't think there's any simple answer to it. So the best thing is to not make any rules.
Okay. What do we think about performance of the year in Aotearoa by a Kiwi?
I really struggled with this. Like, it sounds bad, but nothing's really coming to mind. But then I don't know. Like, what do you guys think?
Caitlin Fielder at Tarawera 50.
Yeah, she always smashes it. Maybe that's because I just expect you to.
Yeah.
That's the problem with being really good, eh?
Ruth Croft
Yeah.
at Tarawera, same thing, right?
Yeah. Like,
Crushed it.
and Dan Jones, like
Yep.
he smashed that too. So, but then we kind of come to expect it there and go like, I know that they're amazing athletes. They really make us proud on the world stage, and we know they're going to come and dominate our local kind of. Well, it's not just a local, but like our ding dong. Like I always say, like because Athletics New Zealand will have their trail champs, and it's this year it was at the Y2K, and actually like the race that everyone's watching that's most competitive in New Zealand is Tarawera, hands
Yep.
down. Like there's no other trail race that you go, that's where all the best of the best are lining up.
No.
So
Yeah, why is that
I-
not the champs? Yeah.
yeah. So for me, like you're right, Matt. Like that is the standard where you go, like, okay, the best performances in New Zealand are likely to come from there.
I really love to, and circling back, and it's a race that's run in circles. A collective effort by the Kiwi team at the Satellites.
Yeah.
I thought they did amazingly well, and what I really loved about it is they actually coalesced as a team.
Well, there were some huge PBs, right? Like they were
Absolutely.
incredibly,
Yeah.
like large improvements
Yeah.
from lots of people.
Yeah. First failure was good old Glenn at 39.
Yeah, 39.
I mean, that's ridiculous. And Sam Harvey was incredible that day. I've heard nothing like, all the guys and the ladies were just like, he was helping absolutely everybody throughout. He would sacrifice his downtime, his break time, to make sure that everyone had what they needed, and were if anyone wasn't feeling it, he'd motivate them. He went round with people who were going too slow, which was great stuff, and probably one of the reasons that we went so long. So credit there, and just on him, like, speaking of individual performances, beating Jono Jackson and the Flying Doctor at the 50k last weekend at the Spectacle was pretty impressive too.
Absolutely. Coming second at Tarawera, 100 mile.
Oh yeah, right.
To Adrian McDonald, who said he pushed them around.
That's right,
He
yeah.
pushed them around the Blue Lake. He said he said to his pacer, like, am I am I in trouble here? And ran his marathon pace, which I shudder to think what that marathon pace is for Andrew McDonald. What's Blue Lake on the minus, about 120?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe
Nah,
maybe
further than
135.
135. So
Yeah.
he ran his marathon pace around that trail to get away from him because he was hunting him down.
I didn't run my marathon.
What do we think about performance of the year by a New Zealander overseas?
Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth at UTMB.
Yeah, Ruth, UTMB. Like, that was clinical and so exciting to watch.
Go on, Andrew.
Well,
Counterpoint.
Counterpoint. I'm obviously Ruth, but Dan Jones I know he got fourth, but the time that he ran at Western States.
Oh, come on. I know
is
he got fourth. That's splitting
outrageous.
his. Yeah, that was all
Right, like that's a winning time every year, but bar two, I think.
Yes.
I mean, it's so fast.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking about it during the race, just thinking of the times those people at the front were running, and I was having a good day, and I'm thinking about
And
these
you're a
guys
good
going,
runner.
"What the hell? How are they doing this?
Yeah.
How are they going so fast?" So, but second beats fourth, doesn't it? So it's the end of that discussion.
Well, no, second beats fourth, but this is the thing, isn't it? It's all relative, and it's just incredible that they just keep getting better and better and better and better and better.
Most importantly, when you compare New Zealand's success at these big races versus Australia's success, we
Yeah.
absolutely waste them. Like, it's ridiculous. Our top athletes are crushing it compared to Australia. Sorry, I know Australians listen, but we've got you. Do better.
Well, I guess you've got Phil Gore, though, in the backyards. Like,
Yeah.
he's been
He's doing all right. Yeah.
Phil
in
Gore's doing all right.
24 hours too. He
Oh,
had
he
a run
smashed
recently.
that 24
Yeah.
hour, didn't
What's
he?
the record?
Yeah.
He didn't set the record, did he? But it was 270k.
I mean, he did and he didn't,
Yeah.
because it's one of those awkward ones where Yannis Kouros ran as an Australian when he set the world record, but he's Greek. You know what I mean? Like, so he ran it as an Australian, the 302 or whatever it is.
Right.
So you can look at it either way. It's ridiculous anyway. So it'd be great to see how he goes next year at Albi at the World Champs 24, which I'm not sure if I'm going to. Could be fun.
Party race of the year. New Zealand.
Party race.
Like race of the year. I said party there. Just, I don't know why I said party, but race of the year. What do you reckon? For vibe.
I'm an old Ghost fan. Like, I love Tarawera because it's, like it's my local, it's fun, it's a reunion. But Old Ghost is, like, I really want to go back there. It's been a few years now, and just love that trail, love that kind of West Coast can-do attitude, and the community that's around that race are just full of, the world's best humans. Like Kiri always says, if we had to repopulate the world, then we should repopulate it with Phil Rossiter, the race director. Like, he's an absolute legend.
I completely agree.
Just step in here, Phil.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
He's such a
Yeah.
dude.
I'm just going to scan you.
Yeah.
I just remember
It's
listening to
cloning
his
time, mate.
listening to his pre-race briefing, just thinking, man, this guy everything that comes out of his mouth is awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
he's funny.
It is,
Eh?
yeah.
He's really, really.
Phil for Prime Minister.
oh man,
Yeah.
That'd
When
be
we
great.
we spoke to him years ago, and I remember sitting up in Eugene's bedroom, and we were, talking to him. And when the second he came on, like within about a sentence, we were captivated. Like, he just had
I bet,
like,
yeah.
He's just fantastic. Yeah.
Sorry, I totally derailed that. What's your
No,
that
race
was
of the year,
great.
guys?
Clone Phil Gore.
I
No,
mean,
wait.
Not
Rossiter.
Phil Rossiter.
I'm just going to encourage the new kids on the block. I haven't attended any of these, but just from what I've heard, I heard the fault line was a great success.
Yeah.
And perhaps number one, it seems, was, and there might be some recency bias, of course, but the spectacle sounds like it
Yeah.
just went off. So, yeah, those sound great. Try and do them next year. Give them a look.
I've heard great things about Faultline as well. I love too that it's Wellington. It's based in the it finishes in the city. I love that. I love that thing about Wellington. Both Wu2K as well. How you finish through the city. I think that's super cool. It gives a real point of difference to some of the races around. Spectacle as well. I think it went off. And what was I going to say? That I also, Crater Rim was cool as hell. Going to Crater Rim, which is, it's a fancy grassroots race. So like, you go there and you're like, hang on a second. if this was anywhere else, this would feel far more grassroots because of the fact that, you go to Littleton, you catch the ferry over, and everything's incredible, and it's super technical, super big hills, really beautiful. Otago. No, it's not Otago. No, it's not Otago.
Oh my God, he's done it again.
It's Canterbury. I know that. That was a joke. It's you go over the sign of the key, you go through all the refuges, you go like all of that, and it's just super cool. And the thing that was really cool was when we were on the finish line, and Rocky, who's obviously further faster, he's in Christchurch. He's part of the committee, and he was on the finish line. He was calling him in, and people were saying very reasonably, hey, look, we want to pack up the course. And he said, no, we're not pulling down the course until the last finish is in. And he turned to me and he goes, I know what it's like to finish at the back of the pack and for the course to be packed down, and that's not happening. And I was like, respect, man. That's so cool to be just like, they're all in for the start, they're all in for the first finisher, all in for the last. So, yeah, I have a lot of respect for that.
Man, you can fill your calendar now. There's so many good races happening in New Zealand, and I'm here for it. It's great. That's a lot of leave passes. It might be some admin to do over the next wee while, but I want to do them all.
Yeah, definitely. What are we thinking about? I mean, FKTs. I don't know. Are we loving the FKTs? What's happening? That seems like that's been a thing now that everyone can go outside and have racing again. That it's kind of slowed down a little bit. But Taradao Appalachian Trail supported FKT overall record. That's got to be there for me.
It's hard to fathom the scope of that. But talking to Abby Hall, hearing her experiences of attending FKTs was kind of a good reminder about how meaty these things are, and what an undertaking they are. So I'm with you. I think Taradao, that was huge, because who held the previous record? Was it?
Got us now, because it wasn't by much. Hey, it was like just a few hours.
So there was Chruch, and then there was Meltzer, and then we're talking about the supported record.
There was someone else.
That string bean guy.
Was it?
Or did he do it?
Joe McConaughey or whatever his name.
Yeah. Did he do it straight through? But it wasn't very. We could Google it.
I'm just going to Google it.
Research. While Ellie's Googling it, just a little segue to that. Carol Saab doing Te Araroa next month. Woo! That is going to be spicy.
It's going to be really spicy. And that has been a long time in the making and was derailed. He was heading down here just in 2019 and then couldn't do it.
Why? What happened, mate?
I don't know. I was at work. I couldn't tell you.
Carol Saab hit it in 2018 and she beat it by more than 13 hours.
Okay. So, weirdly, I mentioned the right person in a different context and got the time wrong. 13 hours is heaps. You think how far you can go in 13 hours? That's how
you
much
could travel from here. You could leave your house and you could certainly... I mean, how long does it take to get from here to Thredbo? It's like 13 hours. You get to LA in 13 hours.
There you go. You get to LA. Yeah, no, I think FKT is great. Bring it on. Do whatever, make up some cool things and go do it.
Would you ever do an FKT, Andrew?
Yes, but my children will have all had to have left home.
Right.
Because they take too long. But yes, I'm definitely interested in something like that.
Which one would appeal?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Because I haven't started looking. Because it's not on the immediate horizon.
You could make your own kind of one, like Mount Eden shops too. Mount Eden.
I think that's called a Strava segment.
No, it's an FKT though. I don't know.
I see Mel Law's made up some new thing going from the north to the south of South Island. So, hey, you can do whatever you like.
He's going from the north to the south of the South Island.
Over 3 years or something. Or several years. Look it up. It'll make sense if you look at his post. But it looks fun. Looks like a really interesting...
Is he going... Is Sally throwing him out? Is he going home or...
Yeah, I need some quiet time. Sorry, Mel.
No disrespect to the man, but I saw that he was doing something, but is he going
He's doing a chunk and then stopping and then coming back later and doing another chunk.
Cool.
And then,
okay.
Yeah, doing it in
it's
bits.
like a broken up adventure.
Yeah, it's always there, It's kind of an itch you can keep scratching whenever you need to.
Yeah.
And why is he doing it in chunks?
Because it would take ages.
But it's going to take 3 years. That's ages.
Well, no, but like in bits. You do it when you can.
Right.
You just pop up. You get in the car and you drive up and you just do a bit. And I don't know. I'm not Mel.
Maybe
does he
with
mark it in
windows?
chalk on the road where he was?
Hopefully, to keep it legit.
Yeah. Last but not least, this is the time when we think about the people who make this culture, make this sport what it is, the Bloody Good Sort Awards, in recognition of all the bloody good sorts in our sports, who are we thinking?
I'm going to jump in and I'm going to say Eugene because, like this past year, he's actually not just this past year, he's always a good sort, but he would have been doing it pretty tough with, not being running and being so heavily involved in the scene. And it probably hurt a lot, but he still showed up. And I think that's part of our community is that, we contribute in all the ways, not just in running. And so I'm voting Eugene.
Yeah, it sounds fine to me. What, wait, who? I don't remember. Oh, bro, sorry. He's coming to do podcasts next year. I've got to be nice.
You're going to be submitting invoices.
Love you, babe. Yep.
Yeah, that sounds really pat, but that's a good point, and I didn't actually even consider that. But Eugene, who gave kind of the, and I talked about this before and I've written about it, he gave this sort of gift of capability when he handed things over. It forced a change in the dynamic. It also forced a change in kind of my realization of what it took to put this podcast out and actually become engaged in that in a greater level. So yeah, absolutely. And it must, I sort of reflected on that too, like being involved in something that you actually can't do.
Yeah.
So.
I've got another bloody good sort. This is good. They're starting to flow.
Oh, good.
Gavin Clifton, organising the Fireys climb. He is so passionate, such just a genuine good human. And, he does it because I think he just loves further stairs, but also kind of seeing the impact of MND on people and wanting to contribute. And he doesn't do it in a way that's like, hey, I'm Gav and I'm organising this.
Not at all.
It's done just from a really genuine, good heart perspective.
Yeah. And what I love about Gavin is he's always going to ring you. And
I talked to him today.
I love it. Like he doesn't text, he'll call. And the first couple of times I was like, what's he want? Not in a bad way, but you're kind of broken brained to text and to, in this time. And then just
I don't do phone calls,
and
but
then just
Gavin, I do a phone call.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same. I'm not doing a phone call outside of work. Why am I going to ring anyone? But
noted.
I bring you. Speaking to Gav, having a call to Gav is beautiful. And what a guy.
Does he have like a flip phone?
I don't.
Maybe he can't text.
No, he can text. He's on WhatsApp.
Oh,
he can text, and his texts are lovely as well. But yeah, organising that. I'll go for, again, it's been said, and I think we nominated her last year, Jenny Hurst.
Yeah.
Just someone who, again, is just always there, always supportive of younger people in the sport. Her and Pete, that's his name. For those who don't know, Batman. Everyone knows Miss Batman. His name's Pete. They're just there. They go to every race. They, if they're not there running, they're volunteering, and it's great to have people like that propping up the culture.
Another one on that note, kind of Caitlin Knox as well. She's doing a lot to encourage wahine and Tamaki Makoto getting out on the trails. So, shout out to Caitlin.
Absolutely. And doing it whilst starting a career in healthcare. And that's not easy. That's certainly, I remember starting a career in healthcare a quarter of a century ago, and I certainly wasn't running. And it was hard enough, trying to get out and get your runs in while you're doing shift work. It's no joke. So respect. What thoughts on next year? What do you hope for, Andrew McDowell, for next year?
Another Hard Rock entry by finishing Northburn. I'm a simple man.
You're just ticking off the list.
Yeah, and maybe go to Albi if I can make the team for the 24-hour World Champs. Maybe. And maybe the Spectacle. And hopefully lots of other little races. I kind of hope we as a team can make it 2 races more than I would normally do.
As a team, like the three of us?
Well, the 3 of us would be awesome, but just even if we can get, if any of us can get to things, that would be really cool. Just to, show some support, especially for local, smaller races.
Yep.
I don't get a lot of weekends off with all my children in their sports, but if I can, I'll certainly be trying to do
See, that's the problem. You encourage them.
Yeah.
Just leave them alone. Leave them alone.
I tried that with music because she's a hard road music, and they've all turned in. They love music. And they
I
just
know,
want
it
to
was
play.
the
I'm
same.
like, what is it? Wait,
Yeah. Hang on.
why?
Why would you do this?
Go be a lawyer. Man. So yeah,
I remember having this discussion with Lola once. She wanted to be a policewoman for ages, and we had this discussion, and it was literally, I want to be a policeman. I'm like, you're going to art school, young lady.
nope.
What about you, Ali?
Looking forward to 2025. I don't know, just more of the same, like getting out to events. I love my job, emceeing. I reckon that's really fun, just to be there to celebrate people and be part of an event. Something pretty special about people, getting out there, being active
Are you emceeing
and being part of a community.
Tarawera?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah. And I'm at the GOAT actually on the 18th of Jan, which is an awesome little race.
Work it.
And yeah, so more of that. I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully surgery and getting back to running again. Oh, and I'm going to Kunyani actually. I'm going to Tasmania for the first time. So looking forward to that.
What's
That'll be
that
cool.
for? What's that about?
Well, there's an awesome race there, Andrew.
Tell
You should
me
come.
more.
You want to get to more races as a team? Come on.
Yeah, the Kenyani
Do it.
Mountain.
I really want to go to Tasmania.
Yeah, Tasmania.
Well,
It looks
I'll
so
send you a
good.
race
we could go to
link.
Mona. We go to the Museum of New Art.
Yep, sure, Matt.
You'd love that.
Tell me about the trails more. Sorry.
No, we could do the trails and then we could go to Mona. It'd be amazing.
I'll send you there's actually like they're calling it the immersion, and so they've got, now I'm going to get this wrong, but there's 3 different days. So you've got like a vertical downhill, you've got the 66k mountain ultra, and then you've got like a foothills run, I believe, on the final day, which is a pretty different and kind of cool challenge. But obviously you can do them separately as well. Like you could do the ultra so it's just by itself.
Because they used to have a Tasmanian running festival, and it was that, and then it sort of went away for a while, and now it's back. But it's gonna be super fun. It's a march.
Vertical downhill sounds like something for the young
march.
kids. Yeah. My knees are screaming
knees.
just thinking about it.
In an excited way though,
Isn't
Andrew.
it?
With a very
Screaming in
excited
pleasure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't. I'd love to go to Tasmania. Be
What
fantastic.
about you, Matt? What are you looking forward to in 2025?
I'm looking forward to keeping on doing more of what we're doing now. Keeping on doing, like, I'm really excited about, and it sounds pat, but I'm super excited about where Chruch Radio is going. And I think that I'm super excited about Tarawera, and not using that as a goal, but using it as a gateway to doing more things. So, yeah, I'm really excited. It does feel like at the moment I just kind of want to get it over and done with, not in a sense of like, oh my God, I've got to get this over and done with, but like that there is a degree of self-imposed pressure, and there is a degree of kind of like the unknown, and like yourself, Andrew, I'm sure like you're very used to doing this sort of stuff, and I'm sure the process takes care of itself, but it is a new thing, and just thinking about that, and not in terms of like worry or anxiety around will I be able to do it. I don't actually have any doubts that I won't be able to do it.
It's perfectly normal, mate. I've done 21 races of 100 miles or more now, and every single time it scares the absolute crap out of me.
It scares me. It
So it's
doesn't.
totally fine.
Yeah. It doesn't. That makes me sick that you've done that many. But wow. But have you got the data on that, by the way?
Yes, I do.
Hey, you're a spreadsheet guy, Andrew.
Oh yeah, he's a spreadsheet guy.
Yeah.
Statistic.duv.org.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a spreadsheet. I do not own Excel. We've talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Whoa.
But yeah, that's what I'm excited about. I'm really excited to go back to the Blue Mountains as many times as I can. Excited to be on some start lines. And
And that's Stephen, mate of mine, who just remember I beat. He has a house in Katoomba.
Does he?
Does he?
I've got to get back there soon, mate. No excuses.
Incredible. Well, look.
Who did we forget? Probably somebody.
Oh, look, we probably forgot someone, but it's been a hell of a year. There's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of awesome things. And what I'd like to say is I'd like to thank you both for coming on board. It's been incredible. I'm really looking forward to next year, and I'd like to thank the listeners for this is the reason that we do it, and we wouldn't do it without you, and we couldn't do it without you, and whatever you and we're constantly flattered, overwhelmed by the kindness and the encouragement. So
To be honest, I'd do it without them. Like, we could just talk, the three of us. I'd totally do this.
it's pretty good. It's a good problem to have, I must admit. And just enjoy each other's company over the Christmas period and look after each other. And thank you very much. And if you give us $10,000, we will release all the cut material from this episode.
Oh my gosh.
We love you. Goodbye.
We'll donate it to charity.
No, we won't.
Merry Christmas.
You filthy animals.
Jingle bells, dirt church smells, and trail shoes we roam. Up the hills and down we fly, just going with the flow. Hey, jingle bells, dirt church smells, off into the fray. Oh, what fun it is to run on a single trail to